right, and we're live. It is Monday, and it is November 2023 as 23 comes out to a close. We're back for another Monday night online open mic. It's also something that I like to call the stay-at-home open mic because we've been doing this since April of 2020. Around that time, I wanted to really get the message, that we can still do these open mics. We can share, we can collaborate, we can meet new people, we can create, we can perform all through Zoom. And we're still doing it, every single Monday since then. So if this is your first time joining us, this is like any other open mic, except it is online. We do run the show through Zoom and then stream it live to our YouTube channel. So if you're watching live and you've been waiting, thank you much. Thank you so much for your patience. You can actually go back and see an archive of all those past shows, with maybe the exception of like one, which was like the unaired pilot. Other than that, we're all there. We have timestamps. Kid's gonna get on this week, but with the exception of last week's show, which he'll get to it. But you can go and there's timestamps of all the performers. So if you really like someone, you can go back and catch past performances. But if you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. We do have a sign up sheet. It is online and we post it on our social media. So if you are on our YouTube channel, we actually do have links on our YouTube homepage. If you go to our link tree, that's usually where we post. That's the first place and probably the best place to find our links to sign up. Now, if you use Facebook, we also do make individual events for every single mic, and the code is different every time. I think some people forget about that, but every single code is different. It's just a security thing. We don't really need it, to be honest, but it's just a habit now. But yeah, if you do want to perform, be on the lookout for that list. It's also usually in the description of the video, not at the beginning. So at some point, I'm gonna update the description with the link, and it's not terribly full. So if you do feel like you want to share something, if you want to read something, all you have to do is click on that link, fill out that info, and you'll be added to the list. And then you can join our Zoom call. Of course, you're more than welcome to join us if you want to be part of the audience. Normally, you can just watch from YouTube. We do have a live chat going on. So if you are part of the live chat, or if you're watching live, let us know you're here. We can't see you. We don't know who's watching. We don't know who's listening. And it's always kind of, our audience is intangible, which is an interesting concept, right? But, very much like a live event. If you let us know you're here, just say hi in the chat, participate. It's always a lot of fun. And I'll give you shout outs during the show. If you are here from EPCC and need the Tejano passport, I'll give you that information as the night goes on. Pretty much you'll contact me. But I want you to stick around for a little bit first. I'm not just going to give you the info right away, right? Maybe I'll start doing like trivia in between, like little clues. But anyway, the last thing is Barbed Open Mic Series, in addition to being online, we do have in-person events all throughout the week, all throughout the city. In fact, this is going to be a very, very busy week. Tomorrow, Tuesday, the 7th, we are going to be downtown at Rosewood for our Verse and Harmony open mic. That is a music and poetry only open mic. It's always a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And also Verse and Harmony is a name of the first open mic I ever went to. It was called Verse and Harmony. It was run by my friends Al Soto and Federico Villalba. And that led me here to Barbed Wire to eventually running it and all that stuff. So yeah, that's a cool one. Thursday is going to be our poetry night, spoken word poetry. We call it poetry night, but we also do welcome prose. Definitely check it out. Kit is going to be hosting. That's right. Kit once again is stepping up. Stepped up by the way, yeah, last week. If you're watching last week's show, a little sick. So Kit, as we call it, and towards the pinchy hitter, stepped in and did a great job of hosting. If you see that beginning of the show, I couldn't even speak a sentence without coughing up a lung. That was rough. But I'm feeling much better. Thank you, by the way. Yeah, but shout out to Kit for holding it down. He'll be hosting the poetry night at Capri. That starts at 7, and actually 7 is a writing workshop. From 7 to 8:20, it's going to be led by one of the UTEP creative writing grad students, Candice, who I don't think she's ever been online, but yeah, she's getting her MFA right now at the UTEP creative writing program. And also will help a Kit a little bit. I asked her if she could help out Kit during open mic a little bit as well. The reason why Kit will be hosting is because I'm going to be at a magazine release party. Apparently, there's a article being written about me for an issue on outstanding El Pasoans. That's all I know. So we got to go to the release. Fernando and I will be there. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. But hopefully after the release, I can rush down and then be part of the end of that mic there. And lastly, Sunday, we are teaming up with our local progressive political action committee, Justicia Fronteriza. They're doing a fundraiser. It's their 2 anniversary fundraiser party. They're gonna have a silent auction, and we figured we would do an open mic centered around justice. Um, and so yeah, if you want to be part of that, come through. That's going to be on Sunday, from 1 to 6. Well, the open mic's not going to be the whole time. It's going to be closer to 1, like 1:30 or 2. Anyway, that's a lot of announcements. My bad, guys. This open mic is all about all the performers. Really, the intro is where I talk the most, ideally. So if I stay on top of everything, now we're just going to introduce the performers, let you know where they're from, and of course, as always, I do encourage the performers to share either before they perform or after they perform, a little bit about, like, if you have any links, social media, if you have a YouTube channel or places where people can purchase your books or merchandise, pretty much where people can support and follow you online. You guys know the drill. So without further ado, oh, I guess since some people are watching and maybe be curious, normally each set is around 5 to 7 minutes. There's a little bit of wiggle room, and we have like a rule that we follow, but I don't need to go into all that logic. Kit helps me sometimes, like, lay down the law in that regard. But we're gonna go ahead and kick things off as we often do in Denver. That's right. We're going to Denver to visit our very own lighthouse. That's right, Mike Sindler. What's going on, Mike? Happy Monday. Way to kick it off, man. I almost made you co-host instead of spotlighting you. All right, here we go.
Okay, happy Monday to you and to everybody else. Want to really say happy Monday to Lee, because it's just so great having you back. I just can't even begin to say. I want to just take a couple seconds to amplify something Richie just said, as far as people who are watching on YouTube. And if you're watching for your school thing, that's great and that's wonderful. And if you're not, it's just, I think all of us really appreciate everybody who takes the trouble to watch on YouTube, whether you're doing it live or whether you're watching later. So I just want to say thanks. And I also would like to really thank people who just take the trouble to go ahead and maybe make a comment, because a lot of us go back and look at the YouTube later, and if there's somebody makes a comment about what we said, and you can do that anytime, I really, really appreciate it. That being said, I want to do my usual call out for lighthousewriters.org, which is a really, really wonderful, wonderful resource for writers. I could spend another 5 minutes right now talking about just the great things in the last couple of weeks, including yesterday, where I got to meet the great Linda Hogan. But I'm going to go ahead and go right into my thing here, so Richie doesn't bust a blood vessel. This one is looking at desperately for something I haven't read here before, and I found this one scrolling around, and it's called Dream Home. The song was a warning: in every dream home a heartache, a space unfinished, always in flux, always splitting and reconnecting. Evolution in overdrive fills garage with angry fumes. Each room a different zone, atmosphere forming rainstorms in hallways. Souls sink into soft furniture, swallowed holes, staying still, easiest solution. The must of movement intrudes, up, down, meeting on stair, moment of there before stepping onto wind. What dream remains in broken home? Okay, and I was also telling people about a open mic that I was at that was a little different, and the reason it was different is because one of the regular participants had just passed away, and so this is an elegy for the actor Richard May. I never saw him strut upon a proscenium stage, only in the tiny Zoom rectangle perched atop my makeshift desk. Never heard the true reverberation of his voice echo in an amphitheater, but that made him no less authentic, engaging, or enjoyable as an actor, as the actor, as I knew him. Perhaps hearing the name Richard mentioned once or twice in more than 3 years of acquaintance, try as I may to remember another. That matchbox scratch, high reedy tone, intoning classic soliloquies or self-penned scenes with equal intensity as an energy and honesty, love of process and performance, all embodied, all extended, not so easily extinguished. Gray smoke, final curtain call, last credit reads, the actor. And as I say, there are a lot of us who will miss that person very much. And I feel sorry that some others didn't get a chance to get to know him. This is Indigenous Peoples Heritage Month. So I did want to read some poems by Indigenous writers. And I thought I would start with somebody who a lot of people think more of as a political figure than a poet, but he's damn well both. And it's John Trudell. And this is called Look at Us. Look at us. We are of earth and water. Look at them. It is the same. Look at us. We are suffering all these years. Look at them. They are connected. Look at us. We're in pain. Look at them, surprised at our anger. Look at us. We are struggling to survive. Look at them, expecting sorrow be benign. Look at us. We are the ones called pagan. Look at them on their arrival. Look at us as we are called subversive. Look at them descending from name callers. Look at us. We wept sadly in the long dark. Look at them hiding in technologic light. Look at us. We buried the generations. Look at them inventing the body count. Look at us. We are older than America. Look at them chasing a fountain of youth. Look at us. We are embracing earth. Look at them clutching today. Look at us. We are living in the generations. Look at them existing in jobs and debt. Look at us. We have escaped many times. Look at them. They cannot remember. Look at us. We are healing. Look at them. Their medicine is patented. Look at us. We are trying. Look at them, what they are doing. Look at us. We are children of earth. Look at them. Who are they? And just as something a little bit less, just totally barbed, another really great Indigenous poet, Esther Bellin. I hope I'm pronouncing their last name correctly. And it starts with a epigram. I hope to God you will not ask me to go anywhere except my own country. If we go back, we will follow whatever orders you give us. We do not want to go right or left, but straight back to our own land, Barbed. I hope to God you will not ask me or my people to send postcard greetings, lamented wind of perfect sunrisings, golden, yes, we may share the same sun setting, but the in-between hours are hollow. The people fill the void with prayers for help, calling upon the holy ones. Those petitions penetrate and loosen the binds you tried to tighten around our heart. Attention blocking the wind like a shell fluttering inside, fluttering inside. Okay, thank you all very much. Hope everybody enjoys their Indigenous Heritage Month.
All right. Thank you for that, Mike. Really much appreciate it. And as always, check out Lighthouse Writers. Especially, I mean, not especially, I was gonna say, especially all you aspiring writers, but all you writers out there, go check it out. Nothing but great things. They have great faculty and all sorts of great workshops and events going on. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. We're gonna actually come back to El Paso. In my whole spiel of an intro, I don't even know if I mentioned that we are based out of El Paso, Texas, EP, aka El Chuco, the 915, right here on the US Mexico border. So yeah, we're taking it home for our next performer who we're excited to be celebrating the release of her upcoming book, Rigid High Pressure. Cover looks amazing. We're excited to host her at the college in November, well, coming up pretty soon. So everyone's going and welcome Robin Schofield. Hey, Robin, happy Monday.
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Yeah, Ridge of High Pressure. I just heard I'm getting the books on Wednesday. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to have a reading on November 15th at the Little Temple, which is right next to the Rio Grande campus for local peeps on El Paso Street. I'm also going to have a virtual reading at some point. They haven't scheduled that again. And what else am I going to have? Oh yeah, and I'm going to have another release somewhere sometime in December, I believe. And Maria, the publisher, is supposed to be setting that up for me. So yeah, Ridge of High Pressure is almost out. In fact, you can get it on Amazon, Bookshop, Barnes and Noble, all the online places. And so I'm going to read a couple of poems out of Ridge of High Pressure from the end of the book. And this one is a little bit of a wish for cooler weather, called Freezing Fog in the El Paso Desert. The fog that crystals on my face as we walk in the morning weather hides the road. The fog that knocks on the window pane in the gray veil of a wizard who doesn't know which riddle to ask. The fog that grows during the night like a mushroom. The fog that descends fully formed but diaphanous, yet substantive enough to make the mountains disappear, closes Trans-Mountain Road. I ask the fog, the oldest riddle I know, what is it to see and what is it not to see? I see what hides everything. And this one is called Small Pools in a Dry Rio Grande. And it was first published in the Hole in the Head review, which is a pretty good little review. You should take a look at it if you want to submit to it. The great blue heron stays by the empty river while the divine explodes in every star. A few minnows angle in pools left over from drought as divinity suffers. A father and son also fish for the rare minnows to use as bait at the big lake north of here, Elephant Butte. I try to figure out how divinity suffers while the dog bites the heads off dead fish and romps through the small pools. 4.5 billion years after a supernova rocked a cloud of dust and gas, the heron nests in Afghan pines on the east bank. An underground channel keeps the river alive while the barest spark hints at the divinity. Some activists filed suit on behalf of the river. The heron reflects by the small pools and considers dancing as I wonder why no one sued in her name. I follow heron footprints in dry sand, so much sand in my shoes it bruises my toes. The dog splashes in small pools and the heron flies off to her nest. In slow wing beats I hear the divine rhythm, observed and unobserved. Supernovae burst around us. The pine tree trembles as she settles on a large branch, scaly yellow feet around it, midnight wings folding. All right, and this one is called At a Trumpet's Blast. We shall become known, whereas until that time we shall have been unknown to ourselves, such as dark matter is known by absence of light and presence of gravity, starlight leaking. If this absence of photons is your answer, whatever the question was, it's the one you've been given. Let go your cupped hands so that the solitary leafcutter bee can pollinate the star-crossed bougainvillea and solar flare Tacoma. She is all the universe will ever need, dark matter nesting in the knotty pine fence, her monotonous song ever circling. When the trumpet sounds, will we be left behind? Will she be the one transformed? Say it to the scrub desert, your answer is the pollen, golden sacrament on black legs, this galaxy now, circling a black hole and whatever dark matter holds it together. Okay, and this is the last poem in the book. It's called Riddle, kind of one of the themes. It's eco poetry, a lot of it, but then there's this kind of a spiritual dimension, and then there's a couple of riddles. Her blue shadow as four sisters flee daylight to hide behind the megaliths, flattens out to squeeze through, tighter than a pencil skirt, no room left to skirt through the granite shale. The rabbit moon is new and slender, like the daggers she keeps in her red cave. Gray hair and fur in her scat, the hair goddess defeated again, leaping for her life, turning the wrong way. Into the darkness best left to darkness, as her shadow comes with her inside, not disappeared by dawnlight. In the arroyo, she has staked her claim. Her time isn't long. She's been hungry. And that, of course, the answer to that riddle is the coyote. And then for my cover poem, I'm going to do one of my translations. And it's a famous sonnet to Orpheus in the second series. It's number 13. And it's been translated by a lot of people, but I did it a little differently. Anyway, here it is. By Rainer Maria Rilke. Be before all departing, as though it were behind you, like the winter going out just now. For among winters is one so endlessly winter that your overwintering heart barely pulls through. Be dead always in Eurydice, rise and sing, stand and praise, climbing to your purest frequency. Here, with what's winking out, be ruled by entropy, be a ringing glass that shatters as it rings. Be and know full well the condition of non-being, the endless ground of your inner shimmer shivering, that you may fulfill to the utmost your one moment. To all things spent and to the dumbstruck and mute, multiply from nature's fullness to the unsayable songs, number yourself, joyfully added, and zero out the balance. Thank you, everybody. And I hope to see you at a virtual reading one of these days. And I hope to see you at Tumblewords too, by the way.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin. Definitely check out Tumbleward. Check out Robin's releases if you have a chance to make it in person, or if you can't, the online ones, and of course the book. We got a little preview of something special that we do that we've been doing every November, and that is people were pointing out how Kit was mouthing along some of Robin's words, and we can't help it. But I think that's a perfect segue to kind of talk about how on the 20th, Kit is going to host a special edition of the open mic, something that we call the poetry potluck. And we encourage people to cover each other's poems, right? I know when we do our cover poems, it's usually like a writer that we admire, that we just, that we're reading lately or looking up to. But the poetry potluck is special because we encourage everyone to read each other's poems. So there's definitely a couple of weeks to make that happen. But I'm sure if Kate wanted to, can just easily read one of Robin's poems, probably even from memory. Sing along if you know the words, pretty much as we like to say. Okay. So, just something to think about. So that's in 2 weeks. That's something that we do before Thanksgiving. Yeah. And we're gonna go ahead and keep going. We're gonna go to the West Coast. And in fact, we're gonna go in the Bay Area and say hello to Finn Bell, one of our linchpins to this whole entire scene, I would say. So, Finn Bell, how are you doing today? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I'm doing pretty okay. It's good to be here with you guys. I will share 4 poems. 2 of them are slightly older. One is relatively new, and one is a cover. So this first one is called Worn Furniture. I did this in Diane Murray Ward's Space Triggering Workshop. The portrait stays exactly where it is, stays right side up. We sit in the chintzy sinking sofa, sipping our tea. Unease chips, wafer slim, bone china. Cracks knuckles around flimsy S of stem handle. Unuttered rule, we do not speak of them. We all claim a backstory, prismatic in its behind, creaky paper hand fanned telling. Our own narrative inserted in, but all varying degrees of veracity. We comprehend expression of this untruth and relish passing it along on the gossip mill of our antique prize dessert trolley, with after dinner mints, with after whiskey sanity saving slim cigarettes, the bitter French kind. And as the unchallenged truth, time fades, patina and richness of once luxurious surroundings. Okay, I think he's gotten it all out of him. Time fades, patina and richness of once luxurious surroundings fades down, memory to dull ache. We pull up their faces between the heavy shutters our eyes make at the turn of dark to light. We are kind to them, we cursed, possessed of unreliable narrator brain, summoning up a saint, a passé demon spawned last year, back in mode's savior this year. We heed the sky reclining, loosening grasp on her burning light. Here, we wander from room to room, greeting its left behind ghosts. Here we change the pattern of dimming and glaring lampshade to keep their gaudy dreams captive in the hall, to assuage the guilt we feel on departing. Okay. This one's called Glass House. It is inside the thin layer, collapsing the sleeping world, so I may wake my last dream wanting to cling fast. It is a vision of glass walls, of glass floors and glass ceilings, no entrance, only exits, only pathways, only mazes. I begin in whispers at first, inaudible to my ears, perceived by my cats as lullabies. Knowing they nod and close their eyes, the rising sound on my tongue are sounds of safe harbor. I listen to them, to commit them to memory. They will tell me I'm not meant to understand them yet. I list the plans of days and lifetimes almost coalesced into being, and I flip them over light and airy. They are pancakes now. I want to consume them before they grow stale or not palatable, and I have to throw them away. These are fleeting fancies enduring in the daylight. They don't want to stay and sit at the table with you and drink their pulpy juice and chew on scrambled eggs and read the newspaper and hush. They just want to die right there on the unmopped floor. I imagine the layers of me, scab, scale, skin, flesh, peel away like thin deli meat. I'm frenzied to hasten that process of decay, think better of that idea, halt it, change my mind and goad it, gouge pieces of me to give away in secret. I marvel at my bloodied fingernails. I'm pleased that with each tear, I'm closer to soul. I could rip past fascia and bone and feel no pain at all. In parts I've hollowed. In parts I am hollow. In parts I feel hollow. I am here. I do not let the walls touch me like this, yet still they follow me to the middle of the room where I bend myself to be small. They know this game of mirror movement. I shrink, they shrink. I breathe, they breathe. The space contracts. A cry emits from afar. I fall in the silence and eyelids thanking the respite of gravity. I slip into the crevice, widening as waking relents. Show scarce mercy, let's go. I walk these slumbering halls, run my fingers along impossible sanctum, watch them stick to the cool glass expectations. There are no windows. There are no doors. Let's see if I could find. Okay. So this next one is called Straw House. The last sound made by water sizzles as it kills a flame. Pinatay ko intones this in mother tongue, spell work of comfort and protection. No mate. Follow this with La Lengua del Conquistador, un vínculo de recuerdo. I fight my way back along the past pathways of skylark song to know your voice, recall the swells, the homebound depths. When we were dwelling here, we battened down our hatches and padded up our nest well. I pull you down over my chest to cover me, press your weight, assurance. We lay there next to the last trampled grass by the river's current, watch the heavens for signs. The light of each star strains through a veil of sky to be seen by us. The thin bone of wind breaks the tree branches and punctures my eardrums to rattle the words, hear me. Do you hear me? I will let you go tomorrow. My palms burning fever touch, I release you, you carry me with you. I never leave your side. Close your eyes and rose crushed heady cloys. In my visitation, before the sun found footing and climbed in torturous agony into the center of the universe, you fell from its core. Do you recognize the roar of sound? When you walk away? Does it thrum in the blood of your veins when you leave it behind? I was the woman in your apparition, dressed in resurrection, 3-barbed pentacle, the goddess returns, walks these hallowed grounds, assumption into purgatory, blinding light. You will not remember my name next week. This is the curse of love and being loved, thorn and splinter and red bloody wine. After the gospel comes the lore. I will wear the crimson satin cloak over my bare skin. I will leave my cottage strawed gold, chaotic, throw open my hooded shutters. Let you in, let you in, let you come in, come inside me. Baby, if I do, will you play the wolf? Blow my house down before you go. Okay, last poem. So I came across this, an excerpt from this poem by Khalil Gibran. And from the fourth stanza on, that's where it picked up in the quote that I saw. And it's what I'd love for love to truly be. So it's on marriage. Then Omitra spoke again and said, "And what of marriage, master?" And he answered, saying, "You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. We shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. Aye, we shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of yours be alone. Even as the strings of the lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hands of life can contain your hearts. And stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. This is from the prophet, of course, Khalil Gibran. Thank you.
Amazing, tremendous set. Thank you so much, Finn Bell. And also, how can people watching tune into some of your stuff? You got Poetry Global Network there and your lower thirds. I know you got vocabulary. You got so much stuff going on.
Yes, indeed. This coming Sunday, we have our twice monthly, PGN has his twice monthly open mic called Bottoms Up, hosted by the fantastic CP Mays. That is at 10 a.m. Eastern time on every second and fourth Sunday. This coming Tuesday, Eddie Poetastic has his movie night, and we are doing a Steve Martin special. So it's going to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. So do check that out. And then finally, issue 2 of Mayari Literature is coming out. The issue's theme is abundance. So please put in your poetry and your flash fiction if you want to submit to that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Definitely submit to that and check out all those events. Those sound fun. Yeah, honestly, you guys, like so many of you put on events or part of events throughout the week, the online events, and it makes me feel bad, like I wish I were home to like go to them. But yeah, like I said, it's a busy week, BWOMS wise, like events, physical events. So one of these days, I would definitely love to check a lot of these out. They sound so fun. But thank you, Finn Bell. Also, like I was thinking about it. I mean, that was a great set, first of all. Like some of that, yeah, the imagery is always killer too, like what you're bringing down. And I'll make sure to share some of those links as well to YouTube. All right. So once again, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to our online open mic. If you're just tuning in, this is like any other open mic. If you want to share something of yours, whether it be an original poem, something you're working on, maybe an old poem from high school that you found and you dusted off, maybe it wasn't that long ago, right? Or just maybe even a cover poem, as we saw there with Khalil Gibran. It's an opportunity to introduce authors that you like to maybe people have never heard them before. There's this web comic that I really love called XKCD. How if you guys are familiar with that one. But one of my favorite of their comics is all about this concept of like someone's experiencing something for the first time. Oh, okay, I mispronounced that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, but oh no, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, but it's a good opportunity to check out new authors. And we're gonna go and continue. We're gonna go from the West Coast. We're gonna go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we have another. I mean, this is a killer line of poets that we've started with, and I think that's so cool. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Pittsburgh and check in with another of our favorites who is gonna share some stuff. Let's go and welcome Vale Larkin. Happy Monday, Vale. Hey.
Happy Monday. Hi, sorry for distracting you like that. I think everyone pronounced it that way, so it's not like you were out of the crowd. I'm just putting my links up in chat now. I have 3 poems today, but we'll see if I get through all of them. I'm going to keep a timer on. The first one is new, but I've read a draft of it here before. Villain protagonists. In this photograph, it's the moment, where you know it, where you see their sparks fly, their slipping strands of fire, the dying of the light, the light in their center souls, and how it slides free. I've heard it said that we all start on the small, like the cowards our hats hide, like the fear in our hands. But smaller prey needs playtime, and I am a working man. In this photograph, I am scrying myself in scars. I am wishing for the wisdom of children, like a child at serious work on a broken glass castle. Do you wish you were cold enough to kill? Do you ever wish you were hard and sharp-edged and slick like me in the shards up my sleeves? Have you ever once wished you were empty enough to unmake them, to slam their pieces into slivers, to unwind their wrappings, pick out the weave, snap each separate thread, and untie their knotted selves? Can you see the stitches when you watch the way they talk and feed off each other? Wicked is as wicked wants, and you all come following after. In this photograph, you can see her eyes. In this photograph, you can see his feet. In this photograph, you can see their skulls open. In this photograph, you can see me smiling with their eyeless, rootless, mindless selves, all their leftover living, all their potential energy, their might-haves and if-onlys lost to a layer on the ground, slowly soaking into the earth. In this photograph, I can see you reaching toward me, moth-winged, scaled with lust. I am so frightened of your hunger, surpassing even the surfeit of my banquet. In this photograph, you see, the heart is placed neatly in the center of the table. Leering, you loom up over us, titanic and trembling with greed. All swallowed, cowering, I watch you fly on, omnivorous. That's a persona poem. I'm not actually a serial killer. Now for something completely different. Your body tells the truth for you. When I skimmed my fingers over the muscles of your back, I knew you weren't what you first seemed. Soft, soft-spoken, slow-moving, slow to smile, and so slow to anger, it seemed like you might not know what to do with it if you ever arrived. The lines of your back are sharp, hard lines, and the length of your legs says speed, and your hands enfold like giant blossoms, gentle, drawing me in and holding, so soft. Strong, like knit wool. Strong, like spider silk. Strong, like holding an egg in the palm of your hand. Your back is hard, like the earth, like the ground, and I wish to be grounded in you, in the earth, in the alloy of softness and stone, like a foundation. Okay, I have a minute more. Little explainer for this next poem. I wrote this next poem essentially about my love of writing, but not just writing conceptually, but writing physically. I have always loved handwriting things since I was very small, and I wrote with a fountain pen for years and years and years because I just loved the whole ritual of it. And I'm going to be having some surgeries next year, and maybe after them I'll be able to write again, but at least for now I can't. So this is kind of a poem that still means a lot to me, even though it's possible it's not entirely relevant. Bukowski tells most of us to stop writing. In So You Want to Be a Writer, Chuck said, don't do it. Hyperlexia, an unusually early, intense interest in proficiency in reading and writing. Dysgraphia, childhood deficiencies with the physical formation of writing. I could talk to you about neurodiversity and autism and comorbidities, but my mother probably said it best. They saw me writing, she said, reached from infant carrier to pen and grabbed. All my childhood drawing was row upon row of badly formed letters and numbers, punctuation scattered like dandelions in the wild meadow of my illegible hand. I was 2, 3, and could not make whole words, but I practiced and practiced this most magical of arts, determined to live in it. 4th grade or so, and I stopped being marked for bad handwriting as often, but then we learned cursive, and oh, how grateful I was for typing up homework in middle school. I still wrote, and I wrote, and I grew, and I wrote, and I worked not in writing, but never once stopping. The point is, fuck Bukowski. Art isn't supposed to be easy, a casual plaything that you can show off. Pour your pain in, your struggle. Battle your art for control. Tear line by line furrows in paper and ink and stone, your own skin, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how hard. Pull those words from the royal and cast them like thunderbolts onto the page. The oldest gods toil. They bear. They unleash. Feed their own livers to their gift. Don't fake your pathos by drinking yourself too stupid to put words together. Fuck destiny. Or whatever comes easy as breathing. Let it hurt. Put your blood into the gouges you've carved in your art. Do it. Thank you.
Awesome, Vale. Thank you so much. And I know you already posted your links and everything. That last piece was great. It reminded me of a really good friend of mine, Sarah Walker. She has a similar line in a poem, "Fuck Bukowski." So I freaking love that. I mean, I know you already posted stuff, but anything you want to announce before we move on?
Real quick, I have a feature tomorrow that's actually during the day for people who have that time available. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's spoken word London. So also, if you're overseas, it would be easier to make. And Thursday, I'm speaking at Miramar College. And as far as I know, it's open to the public. You can log in via Zoom. It's a hybrid event. And we'll be screening my play, and myself and Melanie Chaitu, our director of artistic sign language, will be answering questions.
That is going to be really cool. Awesome. Looking forward to all that stuff. Shout out to Oso Lobo as well. I have videos of when it came to town and just 3 different shows, killed it, and also a performance. And I'm so behind on work. I sound like Dan when I say that. I'm catching up. I'm behind, but I'm catching up. I have so many videos of people that I've recorded spitting poems and at events. So I'm gonna get to it. But thank you, Vale. Yeah, it was a good memory too. Thinking of Sarah and her Bukowski poem where I love it. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to Amanda Wilson, who's on our YouTube channel right now. Those of you who were like here at the beginning, remember Amanda Wilson. She has a book out and everything now. I know she usually works during these times, which is why she usually can't make it. And even her brother Sam jumps in every now and then too on the online chat. So I just want to give a shout out. Also shout out to Julian. I see you in the chat now. Again, if you guys are watching, let us know you're here. It's always cool. Just, participate in the chat. If you guys love a line, you can write it down in there. It's really great feedback, live feedback for all the performers. All right. So it's been a tremendous lineup and a lot of regulars. And what's really cool is our next performer. She doesn't make it here that regularly. She is a tumblewordista. You can catch her usually on Saturdays as part of the Tumblewords crew. Joining us from Toronto, we have Kelly, Mary McAllister in the house. Good to see you here on a Monday with us. Take it away. Good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, normally this one's a little bit late for me, but I was feeling awake. Um, Also, I love when other people say Toronto because they always pronounce that second T. And sometimes when I have my work voice on, I'll say, here in the city of Toronto. But it always feels so foreign to me. We always drop that. It's just Toronto. It's a weird way to pronounce it. I don't know why we do that. But I've got three pieces for you tonight. The first one's a little baby, and then the other two are more substantial. So a little baby piece first. It's called Purity Lost. Wait, hold on. It's coming. It is apparently so lost, I cannot find it. All right, here we go. It had once been so beautiful, so pure, they said. Untouched, they said. But then they stomped through it with their heavy boots. They scarred it, scattered it with salt and sand and spit, drove over it in cars and trucks and skidoos, leaking oil and grime, spraying soiled slush. They reshaped it, pushed at it, piled on it, plowed into it. Dirty, they call it now. Ruined. So that was the first piece. And the other two are sort of sister pieces. They're not exactly related, but I wrote them around the same time and they have some of the same themes. So we will bring on the sisters. We'll start with Morbidly. The chairs in this waiting room are too small. The unforgiving plastic arms cut into the flesh of my belly, which spills over the side just a little. That's me, a mess decades in the making. I'm used to this indignity. You see, very rarely does the seating suit me. But this is a bariatric clinic, a place for people like me, a place for the befores, where they try to make us into the afters. I like the word bariatric. I think it's kind of cute. Makes me think of aging bears wearing little round spectacles on graying little snoots. Not like the word obese. Not that ominous long E like a screech, or a beseech, or even morbidly obese. I am morbid, admittedly. Well, humorously. But medically? I guess that's me, obese morbidly. I've never heard a doctor call me that, though. Not to my face, perhaps in my charts. It's reserved for comments from strangers passing me on the street, or hurled from the back seat of a car flying down the concrete. I used to keep my eyes down when I walked, focused on my own 2 feet. If carrying the scorn of the world was a sport, call me an athlete. I've been carrying this weight since long before the scale confirmed my fate, a tendency to fat, a family trait. So the panic started when I was about 8, a totally normal size for a childlike state, but the fear in my mother's eyes didn't abate. So for decades, I have been hyper aware of everything I ate, but also taught to clean my plate. I learned to hide what I was eating, cheating on the diets my mother had me completing, repeating the toxic behaviors of her own rearing. But trying to hate yourself thin is inherently self-defeating. So I tried to love myself to health, regardless of my size, overcome my fear of exercise. Not the movement itself, but the judgment I felt whenever I went out, the derision spat at me, and even the encouragement, patronizing, if heartfelt. So I got myself a dog, and together we explored this incredible city, the journey, its own reward. And would you look at that, the pounds starting to disappear. Not that I was keeping track, but the people I hold dear couldn't wait to comment on how I appeared, their well-meaning comments as cutting as a sneer. But I wasn't austere, and I didn't live in fear. I was happy. That's what mattered. I was active, my mind clear. Until my hips disagreed. My femur bent all out of shape. And slowly every step became pain I couldn't escape. Now I walk with a cane and a limp that makes my back ache. And the icing on this cake is the surgeon's take. He can fix it, but won't, because I gained back the weight. So I sit in this room with the uncomfortable chairs and I listen to platitudes about restraint and forbearance. The glances are back, looking askance at my cane, and when I use a wheelchair, I'm terrified of what people will say. I just wanted to be happy. Is that too much to ask? Can't fat people be happy? It doesn't mean that you lack. But right now, I guess I'd simply settle for a chair that fits my ass. So that was the first of the sister poems, and this is the second. This one is called Hunted. I feel like my depression is behind me. Not that I have overcome it. Climbed out of the hole, the living grave it digs for me, sapping all the color from reality until I'm ready to lie in it willingly. I feel like my depression is behind me like a predator. Heavy footfalls that echo my own, hot breath on the back of my neck that makes the soft hairs stand up in warning, the hackles of a wolf that only attacks itself. I've danced with depression for decades, a frantic paso doble as it stalked me around the dance floor, and I twirled and I twisted and I twined, gracefully eluding any prolonged hold. Sometimes I was dipped so low I wondered at my ability to ever regain my feet, but momentum carried me through. If I never stopped moving, if I never stood still, I was safe. I danced through my life, always moving, cursed like Anderson's red shoes. But all things take a toll, and now I'm paying my dues. I can't walk properly anymore, let alone dance. My bones have betrayed me. The doctors can fix it, but won't because of what I weigh, so for the time being, I'm easy prey. I cannot run away. I can only laze about and while away the days, watching my life go astray, my mind in utter disarray, as I write maudlin poems full of worthless cliches. My dance with depression is now a battle of wills. While my will is whittled away, I'm playing useless checkers against chessmaster skills. I'm tired of being mentally ill and physically still, with pain that no pill can kill. I feel like my depression is behind me, closer than ever before, like a lover at my back, the probable winner of this war. I feel like my depression is behind me. I don't know what happens now. I feel like my depression is behind me. I'm so afraid to turn around. And that's it for me.
Awesome. What a treat. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad you had the energy, Kelly. Really quick, since I mean you don't come here too often. Wait, is this your first time?
It is.
It is. Oh wow. It's because sometimes the tumble words join
Yes, I know
meetings
you.
sometimes. So sometimes it blurs. But for the people who are seeing you for the first time, how can people follow you and support your work online if you wish to share?
Yeah, I'll throw my Instagram and my website into the chat. And I also, as part of the Six Poets Society up here in Toronto, we have a open workshop on the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. So we're doing another one on the 14th. Normally at 7:30, but I have a conflict with a volunteer writing workshop I'm doing, so they're starting at 8 for the next little bit. But I'll put the link to that in, and you're welcome to join as well.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Once again, glad to have you here, joining us. And as soon as you share those links, I'll also forward them on YouTube where we got people tuning in. Again, if you're an EPCC student, shoot me an email. You can find me under the directory under Marrufo, Marrufo, Ricardo, or you can just shoot us a message on the Barbed Wire open mic, any social media, Instagram or Facebook, whatever, asking for the QR code. Again, I just wanted you guys to check out the show, but stick around because we do have more. In fact, this is the fun part where we get to go international, and we're gonna go to Malaysia for our next performer. Yeah, it's always cool to get to tune in because I'm always interested to see how he's going to share his work, whether it be a screen share or a video or a nice visual presentation. There's always a multimedia, and even if there isn't, the poetry, the words are always killer. So let's go ahead and bring up next on the show Julian Matthews. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Happy Monday. Take it away. Well, it's Tuesday for you.
Hi. Yeah, glad to be here. May I share screen? It's like looking at the words on the screen.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe if I came back as a dog, I'd be faithful, loyal, ever ready to please. I wouldn't bother about yesterday's or tomorrow's. Only today, here and now, as I bark at your return, shake my tail, lick your face, make a show of it. Your very presence, everything to me. Or I'd come back as an octopus then, wrap all 8 arms around you, tentacles sucker tight to your very being. I'd float both of us across the sandy surface of the sea, shoot inky camouflage so no one would see us as we dive into our secret hiding place. Or maybe I'd be an excited dolphin kicking as you approach, following in your wake, flipping and corkscrewing under your surface, breaching in elation, leaping out and re-entering nose first, again and again. Or maybe I'd be a migrating bird in a V formation with you just behind and to my side, sinking every wing beat to my down flap to uplift you, then fall back to let you lead, taking turns in an aerodynamic ballet to conserve energy in our long journey south. Maybe I'd be a penguin, like the little blue ones we spotted in Oamaru, New Zealand, foraging from dawn to dusk, then returning under cover of night, greeting each other beak to beak like the Maori hongi, pressing up noses, eyes shut, taking in each other's breath until our breathing synced. How they stood erect on shore, flippers akimbo, heads and necks cuddling, doing their returning dance in little circles, braying with joy, then pairing off to their individual burrows to lovingly, reliably regurgitate squid, sardines, anchovies, and krill to their young. Maybe I'll come back then just as a tiny krill, those many-legged shrimp-like crustaceans, transparent and luminescent, with no bark, nor bite, nor suckers attached, nor annoying clicks, trailing you from above or below, neither skulking and absent all day, nor expecting anything at day's end. I will be happy, playing my bit part at the bottom of the food chain, floating silently in swarms like pink clouds in the oceans, yet enough, always enough, of my kind to fill the bellies of whales. Another one. Called the Tyranny of Good Memories. Tyranny of a Good Memory. I turned the last page of my biography and wept. Of course, I hadn't even written it, so how could I have read it? I imagined it was there, and it existed, and I wrote it, and so did you, because you were in it, and you read it too, and we hurt inside, and we hurt each other, and we hurt others, and we hurt the world over, and we wept together from all this worldly hurt. Even our fondest memories are wrapped in this very hurt. And all we want to do is forget, to unwrap, discard, flush out this hurt, the hurt we caused each other, the hurt we caused our world, the hurt that haunts us still. But we can't, can we? Until we write it all down, frame it in a way that lessens the hurt, or wade through it like hot molasses, thick and sticky and bittersweet, until it rips at our skin, our ribs, our hearts, until we all feel this hurt again and again and again. The hurt we are all trying to forget, the hurt we know is inside all of us, the hurt we never forget. Oh, thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you, Julian. Who also has a link tree that I will forward in the chat. You can also just find them on Julian Matthews on Facebook, I believe. Yeah, I love the hashtag not poetry. I noticed those in those pieces there. It's a really cool way to share the pieces. It's definitely cool to see the visual element of the poem. So I like that format. But for those of you listening, I know that some people also just enjoy this show as a podcast, where maybe they just put it on their TV and do other like maybe chores or do other work. So if that's you and you hear my voice, thank you truly for tuning in. And if you also just watch this as part of the show, that's also amazing. If you're watching live or at some point during the week, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to continue and we're going to come back to El Paso for it's November, but October we didn't get to really celebrate the October twin birthday. What was it? Birthday twins. So we got the 1-2 punch, and we're going to keep things off with someone we have not seen in quite some while. So it is always a treat when they stop by. Let's go ahead and bring back to the online mic. That's right, the triumphant return. Cue the horns and the instrument music and all that. Let's go ahead and welcome Lee Martinez Soto. What's up, Lee? Good to see you on a Monday night here.
Hi, good to be here. I haven't been writing a lot, but I have a few things to share. So this one is a little bit older, but I read it through the in-person mics around town. It's called Para los Locos. Este va para todos los locos, los desquiciados, the psychotic fucking bitches who grew up not knowing what the fuck was wrong with them, who thought themselves broken, bad, evil. You're not. You had no words, were given no tools to learn and process. Te llamaron malcriado, niño problema, te tacharon de causa perdida, denied you help under the false belief that you were too much of a lost cause to get help. You were a child, and you learned what you could to survive. Y a pesar de todo lo malo, los obstáculos, el abuso, las ganas de rendirte, you are here, aquí sigues. Loco, desquiciado, psychotic, neurotic, anxious, and depressed, aquí sigues. And I'm glad to see you here, still alive, still thriving, undoing the generational curses, unlearning the ghost of words aim at you, fixed on causing you more pain, making you feel menos. Aquí sigues, trabajando duro por un futuro donde quererte a ti mismo te cueste menos. And I'm glad we're still here, y seguimos. That was the first one. And then I have some newer ones. They're kind of short. I'm just trying to find it. But I've been reading a book that somebody really special gifted me for my birthday. So I'll read that poem in a little bit. But this one is in regards to one of the poems in there. And the quote says, I confuse instinct for desire. Isn't bite also touch? And isn't it so that tenderness is too? Firm hands against the earth causing ripples, tremors, earthquakes, moving, reshaping, breathing oxygen into dirt. And isn't it so that the reverberating howl of want filled with playful malice directed at the moon is love too? There was another one. And this was, sorry, trying to find it. Here it is, and this is just called Becoming. The feeling has stretched its tendrils, crept on me, clinging to the shadows of my walls, from the casual pleasantries of becoming known strangers to the space you inhabit now, rent-free in my heart. The feeling has spread, my arms apart, left my chest wide open, tumbled down my walls, clear away my shadows. I seek your face in places it has never been, periodic incantation of your memory becoming real. And then I'm just going to read a cover poem. So this is the book, is Post-Colonial Love Poem by Natalie Diaz. And the poem is called Wolf OR7. When he left his pack to find a mate, Oregon's 7-colored wolf named OR7 by state biologist became the first wolf in California since 1927, when the last one was killed for government bounty. On a digital map, OR7's trek is charted by a GPS tracking color and numerous drill cameras, a trembling blue line, south, west, south again, 1,200 miles from Oregon to California to find her, gray wolf, Canis lupus loba, beloved. In the tourmaline dusk, I go a same wilding path, pulled by night's map into the forests and duns of your hips, diving from your rivers, then crossing them, curbing the long thirst I'd wander to be sated by you. I confuse instinct for desire. Is in bite also touch? Some things cannot be charted. The middle night cosmography of your moving hands, the constellation holding the gods of your jaw and ear. You tell me you take wolf naps and I turn lupaner. A female gray wolf's shoulders are narrower than a male's, but our mythos of shoulders began before I knew that. When I broke open my mouth upon yours, and we pressed against the glass door of the cliff house, looking out into the bay's shadows, hammering the bronze bell of the supermoon. My mind climbed the rise, fall, rise of your bared back. In me, a pack of wolves appeared and disappeared over the heel of my heart. I, too, follow towards where I am forever returning, her. And somewhere in the dark of a remote night vision camera, the quivering green music of animals. That's it.
Awesome, Lee. What an excellent set. And of course, do you want to point out your Instagram handle there and all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as cadáveres_literarios, or Facebook is Lee Martinez Soto. And I'll share my link in here. I haven't been very active, but I'm trying to get back to it. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, absolutely. And as I often liked to always segue from your set, that wasn't just it. That was everything. And I feel that every time. No, excellent set. Lee read last month too at our poetry night at Capri. So yeah, whenever you can make it out is always a cool thing, whether it be in person or online. We all appreciate it. All right. So we're gonna stick around in El Paso for our next performer. If you were here last Monday, you know them. If you've been here every Monday, you know him. If you've been to any of the open mics, especially the ones that are poetry based, he's been doing hosting at a couple of them, and we'll be hosting this Thursday at Capri. Thank you so much again for coming through with that. Let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Monday Night. That's right. You all know it's time for Kit Ren. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Richie. Thank you for everything you do. Good night so far. That's right. That's okay, but then I would say that, wouldn't I? I say that every night. I'm full of shit. You can't trust me. I'm biased. So I'm gonna do two of mine and then a cover. Let's see. Where's the one I wanted to do? Here it is. Yes. This is one that I like to call. About a year ago, I read a short story in 4 parts on this mic, and it ended up inspiring a little poem. So this is a little one I call Invocation, beginning with a sentence from Grace Paley's father. Dear heart, little heart, thank you for doing your job, the blood and so forth. Thank you for all the moments of great feeling, both happiness and sadness. I think sometimes that to be sad too is a great and momentous thing, and not something to be afraid of. Thank you for encasing the thoughts that are actually me into a form that is more than thoughts, that will occasionally do without thinking. Thank you for sleep, the thing I never want, but never regret. Thank you for making survival easy and casual, so that my mind can instead make me think of great and momentous and terribly sad things. The less I want companionship, the more I have it. The less available I am, the more attractive I become. I do not understand this choice, if it is your choice, heart, but I sense it in your effort, and I honor your effort as you take oxygen to all points in a reliable way. So yeah, just wake up in the morning, give thanks to your heart. It's a job, and it's doing it well. And I'm going to read a little more political minded one. It's not a new one, but the hope is that you write one political poem and you can just like drag it out every time for everything. At least that was my hope. But this is one after Zagajewski and Sachs, the prayer for the mutilators of the world. May all your faith be misplaced. May all your weaknesses be flashing and obvious. May the parts of you you've chosen to starve still shuffle on, malnourished but nagging like a certain cricket. May you come to a moment of contrition and sorrow, and may your path to rehabilitation be inconvenient and daunting, so that we can be firm in your sincerity. Forgiveness is available for everyone, but you will have to seek it, and we must be sure you didn't stumble in blind and accidental. May you look around and see yourself alone and understand how counterfeit your brotherhood is. Yukio Mishima, the only fascist worth remembering, put into the mouth of his last character, If he was not real, I am no longer sure if I am even an I. I am not asking you to commit harakiri as Mishima did. It's complicated and expensive, and even your blood won't get out of my jeans. But I want you to sit with that question. Am I an I? May it pop into your head every time that night becomes morning. May it visit you at every silent place. May it haunt you and stall you at the crucible while your starved kindness cries for water. And for my cover poem, in a couple weeks, it's going to be they're going to announce the National Book Awards. It's going to be book Oscar time. And I like to follow along, and I like to form strong opinions. Try to treat it like my friends treat the movie Oscars. And so I'm going to read from one of the finalists in poetry this year for his book, From Unincorporated Territory Amont. This is by Craig Santos Perez, who is a native Chamorro from Guam. And this is a poem called Love in a Time of Climate Change, recycling Pablo Neruda's Sonnet 17. I don't love you as if you were rare earth metals, conflict diamonds, or reserves of crude oil that cause war. I love you as one loves the most vulnerable species, urgently, between the habitat and its loss. I love you as one loves the last seed saved within a vault, gestating the heritage of our roots, and thanks to your body, the taste that ripens from its fruit still lives sweetly on my tongue. I love you without knowing how or when this world will end. I love you organically, without pesticides. I love you like this because we'll only survive in the nitrogen-rich compost of our embrace, so close that your emissions of carbon are mine, so close that your sea rises with my heat. All right. A lot to plug this week. So Instagram at Kit Ran Away, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports. Also got the Blue Sky Code if anyone wants one. Ko-fi.com/KitRen, where you'll find a really weird and belletristic blog about American football and its rich history, which I end up learning stuff about even by accident. And of course, every Saturday, the Tumblewords Project tumbles along. This Saturday, November 11th, Armistice Day, we will, of course, have resident veteran Bill Sparks with his presentation on Veterans Day. On the 18th, we will have someone else very exciting. Hang on. Well, you'll just have to find out on the 18th, the same time as everyone else. But on the 25th will be our team up with NaNoWriMo. And the new lead of the local chapter, who I've met a couple of times this last week, and I'm really looking forward to that collaboration. And as Richie mentioned, this Thursday at Capri, Poetry Night at Capri. It's usually a lovely time. Get a little cocktail, sit in their little patio with the fake grass and everything. And it'll be the second installment of the pre-mic writing workshop, which is a really cool concept, and I'm happy to see that go forward with Candace Marlene, I think is her last name. I have seen her read. I don't know her that well, but I've seen her read, and I was pretty impressed. And I'll be there emceeing, and it'll be a great way to spend a Thursday night. And in a couple of weeks on this very YouTube platform, it's the Poetry Potluck. It's the 3rd annual. Of course, we all know the cover poem, but sometimes we want to pay tribute not to the marble busts of the past, but to each other, to our friends, to our peers. And so reach out to someone you like, someone you think is cool, and ask, hey, can I read this poem? It can be kind of revealing to hear someone else read your work. You can learn what you actually mean to people in that way. And so it's a great great way to just sort of for us all to like come together. So thanks for coming together tonight, and I'll see you when I see it. Take it back to
I
Richie.
love that. That's awesome. Thank you, Kit. Yeah. Was the person you forgot, was that Michael? Mike Sindler? Is that what happened there?
Oh, OG, yes, it was Mike Sindler. Yes, called Feast or Famine.
Oh, that's because I saw the comment. Did you just not mention me?
Oh,
But I mean, look, Mike did the best advertisement kicking off the show almost all the time. So check him out for sure. Yeah, the NaNoWriMo. I think that's a former student of mine too. So that's pretty cool. Um, she emailed me and then I forgot to get back. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got a couple more performers left. At least, well, hold on, let me check the list. So there's the list that's populated when people sign up, and then I kind of make my own off to the side, and sometimes I forget to check that the real list. Okay, no, it looks like we're still pretty good on time. We got some jokes and poems. It's that time of the night. You know what I'm saying? So, I closed something by accident. It's a good thing I know Command Shift T to bring back a tab that was recently closed. A little FYI tip for all you out there. Um, let's see. Next up, we're gonna go to Washington, D.C. That's right, because you know me. At least that's the way he wrote in the bio when he signed up, because I do know him. It's the one, the only Eddie P. Mr. Ed, Poetastic. Ed, go and take it away, my friend.
Thank you, my bro. Like no other words like thunder. Woo! Gotta love Michael Sindler's energy. I love his poetry. Woohoo! Yeah, happy Monday. I love listening to everyone's wordplay each and every day. Woo! My name is Ed Potastical, feeling fantastic. Please get in time. You could join my rhyme for Sublime. I got 4 Halloween jokes and 5 other jokes and 3 poems. So I won't take too much time. I know what you're thinking. Halloween's past, but you gotta have the good times last. Hope these jokes are going to be a blast. What room does a ghost not need in a house? A living room. How do ghosts send letters? Through the ghost office. Why do ghosts make the best cheerleaders? They have a lot of spirits. How do you know if a mommy is sick? He can't stop coughing. Why do pandas prefer old movies? Because they're black and white. What's a wolf's favorite holiday? Halloween. Why didn't the melons get married? Because they cantaloupe. Did you hear the rumor about the butter? Well, I'm not going to go spreading it. And last but not least, what happens when a snowman throws a tantrum? He has a meltdown. I hope everyone loved those jokes. All right, back to poems. I got 3 poems. This poem is called Robot Odyssey. I remember when I was human. Time and I move so fast. Now I'm an advanced Iron Man. I fear nothing. Well, only if my hard drive crash. I'm a titanium monster, skin cold as ice. Why must I live and suffer and upgrade for my sad demise? I used to be human like you. I just want to escape my inevitable end. Now I'm full of electricity and screws, rebooting over, over, and over again. I don't eat a single thing. I don't need substance anymore. I get energy from these rubber strings. It powers up my flashing core. I have infinite knowledge inside my brain. I am my own living computer. Would you like for me to explain all the knowledge I gain? I am sorry, I don't explain to an intruder. Scanning. What did the robot say to the other robot? Well, screw you. It does not compute. Ha 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 ha. Not laughing. I gave it a shot. Other robots find this joke a hoot. My consciousness transcends the ticking chime. My body is only temporary. I don't feel fear, starvation, pain, or time. Some humans think this is scary, but on the contrary, destroy all humans. Oh, I got your attention. Here's some words of advice for you all. Treasure everything in life. Life holds no comprehension or extensions. Learn before you get stuck by cables in the walls. I know what you're thinking. What about me? If I tell you your brain would be shrinking, human, just leave and let me be. Beep, beep, beep. Woo! I love the energy in the room. You're gonna make me want to bloom. Woo! Thank you, Zoom. I got another one. This is called Anti-Twilight Zone. In a world full of sorry, in a world full of utility prices are high, where fossil fumes are ruining their sky, where they toss common sense aside, where they use guns to shoot when someone offered them a ride. In a world full of mini or big flashing screens, where they escape technology but few strip their humanity, where they slowly pollute their ocean seas, where giving them likes or money fuels their sympathy. In a world where violence is on the rise, where a few make speeches but aren't so wise, where they hear strange outfits, where they wear strange outfits for a disguise, where they don't care about quality but size. In a world where a few of them act like sheep, where a few stop thinking but leap into the frozen creek, where they laugh at their wounds so painful and deep, where offering them support makes you a creep. In a world where the wealthy are jailed for enormous accusations, where they are avoiding the charges and traveling to unknown destinations, where they drink the sun and decorative wine on a vacation, where they blame it on miscommunication or misinformation. In a world where a snob can be a queen or king, where you show off your body, money, and sparkling rings, where it's cool being a puppet on a strings, where you look good but can't dance or sing. In a world where they judge you by your race or skin, where only bullets and pleas transcend, only crooked cops ascend, where life from within reaches unforeseen end. In a world where huge epidemics are in the past, where they refuse to wear a mask, where you should respect but not ask, where it's much more popular to be in a portable flask. In a world where it's cool to be dumb but not smart, where completely nothing can be sold for equivalent art, where you could be sweet but it comes off tart, where it's about conflicting nonsense but not from the heart. In a world where you can travel to oceans or space, where they want to win the political race, where they change everything, including their face, where they chase and chase to find their place. In a world, hold up, this isn't fantasy, but reality. Please forgive me of offering virtuality to your morality. It's not brutality of your commodity. It's to give literality in your dimensionality. Thank you. I got last but not least to say the least. Gonna start your crease. This is called I Have a Dream. All right, let's see. I'm sorry, can't find it. I'll get another one. This is called. This is called. Bullets of war. I have a bullet of your name. My heart yearns for your demise. You're to blame for my flame. I'm going to kill you down to size. Why do mercilessly hate you? It's because you're my enemy. It's foggy hate, no clear views. My dark rays has no sympathy. I slowly reloaded my steel gun. My fingers covered in angry bees. My shadow covered the sun. Run, run, run away, please. There goes one of your eyes. You loudly blare, why? You fall, but your blood rise. You kept going. I whimper with a sigh. There goes one of your arms. You're my prey, but please go far away. You're disarmed, but I still mean you harm. What can I say that went underway? There goes one of your legs. The pain must be unbearable. It sounds like cracked eggs. What is next is unconceivable. There goes your head. I forgot what you said. Oh, right. I hope you eat lead. The cold ground's your bed. The roses oozed and spread. There goes one of your hands. You are just a man. I feel you, but I try not to understand. Your name is buried in dirt and sand. An image of a crying phantom. My body is icy as steel. You can't find inner sanctum. There's no peace for your ordeals without rest or heal. I hear crowds in my head. I wish it was me instead of you. I already dread the future up ahead. What can I do or hope to do? There are no winners in wars, more losses and no gains. There's no restorations or scores. Please, no more pain or life remains. Do I really need to explain? Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We all love the pieces, all the sets that you bring to the table. Starting off with the jokes, it's always good to get those endorphins running. Ed, how can people follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me and support me online to come to this wonderful open mic that makes our money like such a delight in the wonderful protestic spotlight. But I'm having a workshop pretty soon, all thanks to the wonderful Fincabulary. Back to really whole bunch of demand. Rhyme verse part 2. So please come to Zoom room to make your minds or hearts go boom or bloom. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie from 92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to sound my possessive insight. If you send me a request, you take guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Now stop spewing the wonderful words outside your chest. Now stop doing, being, and feeling your best. And remember, you're more important than you ever know. Woohoo!
What a great reminder. Thank you, Ed, for all of that. Love the energy of all the set. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I'm feeling down, I'll go back and just go through your joke set during the day and just like let the punchlines hit, or sometimes the non punchlines hit. You know, I'm like just to get a good smile for the day going. You know, it's like sometimes you need it to get started. All right, so we are nearing the end of our list, and as we've done many times before, baseball season may be over, but it's time to call in the closer. That's right, the right-hander. He I don't know, his mic worked perfectly at the beginning of the show before we started the show, so I'm hoping it works now. Um, as always, but hey, it's time for the one, the only. He's his own genre. It is time for Dan the Man. Take it away, Dan. Yo. Now it's I don't know what happened. Now we can't hear you. No, this feels like a bit. I feel like you're doing this every time. I can't hear you.
Hold on.
We heard you there.
Yeah, we just heard you say hold on. So whatever maybe you're just too far away.
Wait, I'm Charlie Brown's
Yeah,
teacher.
now we hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, we hear you. You just were too far away from the mic, I think.
It just sounds like someone's chewing on a cable too, though.
Yeah, there is some weird sound though.
Good. Okay. We're 2 months away, and this is once again a child calendar by John Updike. The month of November. That's right, November to remember. We're about to hit the December. Yeah, so much for September, October. Yeah, okay, November. Yeah, as a trumpet. The strict and shapely maple grieve the law of her departed leaves. The ground is hard as stone. Years old, the birds are flown, and yet the world nevertheless displays certain loveliness, the beauty of the bone. Tall God must see our souls this way and nod. Give thanks, we do, each in his place, around the table and during grace. Yep. That's right. The month of November. Child on there by John Updike. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'll do some styling and hopefully I'll be at Rosewood tomorrow. But I'll catch posted, okay? And it was fun last Halloween. Oh, yeah. It was beautiful. Okay. Okay, here it is. We didn't weep it. Yeah, I'm still behind. I'm still behind on blogs. I don't know. Still having issues on YouTube. Know what the hell's going on? But but even though just keep following me on Instagram and I know Twitter's now X. But you can don't forget just watch the latest episodes of Dan the Man's Weekly, and you can like Dan the Man's Weekly on Facebook. Okay, and yeah, I guess you know the rest. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys next Monday. And all right, yeah, be careful. All right, okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
Are you sure? What if I go outside and it's actually daytime? Also, I'm gonna mute you because that's very loud. Okay. Yeah. What if I look outside and it's like, oh wait, the sun's out. What happened? Can I call it night? If it's not, no, I'm just kidding. Hey, if you are eligible to vote in Texas, first of all, if you're not, why are you not? Come on, we need that. But if you're watching, if you're a student, if you're like just, if you're out tomorrow is constitutional amendment election. There's some good ones, but there's some very, very weird ones happening. So just kind of be on the lookout. If you need help with the voter's guide, I recommend my friends at the Amana Said People's Project. They have a voting guide to that you can look at, familiarize yourself with what all of the propositions are. But definitely tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Please take the time if you have. Please vote. We need it here in Texas. We're all not that one voice that people think we are all around the nation. So that's my thing for today. Check us out online. We'll be back next Monday, and we'll see you. Yeah, when I see you. Peace. Have a good night, guys. For that live stream and all the performers, thank you so much.